Hi there, I'm Sandy Slade, and the title of this presentation is Virtual Physical Activity, 5 Steps on Implementing an All-Star Program. You know, it's really great to have you here today. Thank you so much for listening in. You probably have been on a number of webinars where they have long introductions or they even have games before they get into the good stuff, but that's not how I operate. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to dive right in because I've got such really great information to share with you today. But first, I want to talk about who this webinar is for. This is for after-school agency leaders, after-school directors, or site coordinators who want to learn how to operate or improve upon their virtual physical activity program. If you fall into one of these roles, this webinar is definitely for you. In the next 45 minutes, this is what I will be covering. How to get your staff excited about teaching physical activity virtually. How to create a program that really connects with students no matter their abilities. How to seamlessly connect virtual physical activity lessons with on-site instruction. And how to do all of this while making it affordable and including minimal training and resources. But first, my promise to you. On this webinar, I'm going to provide you a step-by-step strategy for creating an all-star virtual physical activity program. I know right now this feels like an impossible task considering all the other things you are trying to accomplish right now. But there are after-school programs that are doing this. And I know this could happen to you and your program too. But before we get to all the good stuff, let me check in with you really quick to see where you're at. Does this sound like you? Do you start out every day wondering what will be the level of pushback you'll receive from staff while trying to implement new policies and procedures in an ever-changing environment? Do you see other programs producing stellar results despite the challenges we all face based on the current conditions and have no idea on how they're doing it? Are you working way too hard? Are you putting in way too many hours? Are you burning yourself out? Do you secretly know you have the capability of having an all-star virtual physical activity program, but afraid staff buy-in is nearly impossible and knowledge base limited? Do you worry about the students' level of participation, especially those students who have no interest in being physically active to begin with? Do you feel like technology is the enemy instead of an asset when it comes to teaching physical activity remotely? If any of this sounds like you, then I have good news. None of those things that I just mentioned are the real problem. They're just the symptoms. What's the real problem? You haven't made what I call the shifts. And we are going to talk about what those are in just a second. But for right now, I want you to know this. I want you to know once you make these shifts, you'll have a cohesive team that understands how easy it is to implement a virtual physical activity program. You'll become one of those stellar programs that others will be wondering how you accomplish this under such adverse conditions. You'll understand how simple and effective it is to teach physical activity remotely, and your staff will embrace technology as an asset instead of a complicated burden. The students in your program will look forward to participating, and parents will thank you for getting their children moving. And this will allow you more time by eliminating this off your list of things to worry about. Now, before we go too much further, let's take a couple seconds and let me introduce myself so that you know who I am and why you should be listening to me and the things that I'm saying. For 22 years, I was considered one of the best basketball handlers in the world, performing professionally for NBA halftime, school assembly programs, and special events around the world. I am the CEO and founder of Skillastics, the #1 large group physical activity program that makes it easy to engage, organize, and motivate children to move, learn, and absolutely love it. For almost 20 years, we've helped over 25,000 programs enjoy all the benefits physical activity provides. And also, I am a nationally recognized speaker and clinician specializing in transforming attitudes about physical activity. So now, okay, let's get into the 5 shifts. I've been helping people discover how fun physical activity is for over 30 years. You know, whether it's been motivating children to get excited about practicing the basic fundamentals of basketball or transforming attitudes about physical activity to hundreds of participants in my workshops nationwide. I've been at this for many, many years. But 2020 has been a year like no other. The pandemic has forced all of us to completely halt our normal routines and take on challenges and new directions overnight. We as a company quickly started receiving so many calls and emails requesting resources to teach physical activity remotely. What we did, we immediately provided numerous free resources, but soon realized that the need was greater than just providing a few basic resources. We were basically providing a Band-Aid, just a temporary fix. So I began analyzing our after-school program and realized that the quality of the content that we already had, that already existed, could easily be transformed virtually in a way that would make it very simple to use. Through all my experiences talking to many frustrated after-school directors, I discovered a number of reoccurring virtual challenges that I could help simply solve based on all my experiences. And those solutions morphed into the 5 shifts. My team started incorporating these shifts immediately while talking to our customers, and we've seen a definite increase in feelings of confidence instructing physical activity virtually. For all of this has been an absolute incredible feeling to be able to help after-school programmers like this. So the bottom line is, there are 5 key shifts that will make it easy to implement a virtual physical activity program. I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them right now. First, operate with an open mindset. Now, I know you may not want to hear this, but it starts with you. Your willingness and excitement about introducing physical activity virtually into your program will be a direct reflection on how your staff buys into the program. If you are all excited about it and positive that you can do it, your staff will be more willing to accept this new approach to teaching physical activity. Research has shown that positive emotional engagement is a key mechanism for translating PMA, or positive mental attitude, to employees. We all understand what PMA is, but as a reminder, I'd like to share the exact definition. It's one's ability to maintain the belief that he or she can change a tough situation into something better. Your job as a leader of your organization is to transfer that PMA, the positive mental attitude or open mindset, to your staff. Our company has a number of core values, and one of them being PMA, positive mental attitude. Everyone who joins my team learns the reason why, and I will share this actual story with you. My grandpa ran his own fruit and vegetable business. With an 8th grade education, his business was one of the most successful in the town where he lived. He always knew a deal when he saw one, and this particular deal was too good to pass up. He had the opportunity to purchase a semi-load of bananas for an amazing price. What he didn't know was that the bananas were close to becoming too ripe. My grandpa knew he had or he could sell that whole semi-load of bananas before they were spoiled. And this is what he did. What he did was he gathered all his friends and all the relatives, giving them bananas, and asked them to go door to door selling the inventory. By the end of the day, every single banana was sold. So as a company, in keeping with the positive mental attitude, and whenever we come up with challenges, this is our mantra. No matter what the challenge, nothing is impossible. And we think of that semi-load of bananas. I'm also reminded of my college basketball coach constantly telling us, probably many more times than we actually wanted to hear, if you think you can or think you can't, you're right. You can choose to have an open mindset, which transfers to your staff, or you can choose to put up every obstacle that you can think of, which will eliminate the opportunity of providing your students with an amazing physical activity program. Either way, you're right. The mindset is an unbelievable, powerful thing. Being open to change, and even more importantly, being excited about the new challenges and facing them head on, will make all the difference about how your staff will respond. The second shift, believe all children enjoy physical activity. Yes, it's true, but let me clarify. Not all children enjoy sports, but all children will enjoy being physically active if and only if they have a positive experience in the process. The biggest mistake instructors make is they think that being athletic and participating in sports is the same as being physically active. Of course, you're physically active when you participate in sports, but not all children were born to be athletic. But all children deserve to have a positive experience being physically active. So, no matter their age or physical ability, all children can enjoy being physically active. But how? Well, there's a little thing called endorphins. Improved self-esteem is a key psychological benefit of regular physical activity. When you exercise, your body releases chemicals called endorphins. These endorphins interact with the receptors in your brain that reduce your perceptions of pain. Endorphins also trigger a positive feeling in the body, actually similar to morphine, believe it or not. Endorphins cause a feeling of euphoria, and they have a sedative and antidepressant effect. Clinical studies show that endorphins need about 10 minutes or so to start getting secreted, but have a full effect when the activity lasts about 30 minutes. This is the reason why we have tailored our on-site physical activity program and our virtual program to last 30 to 40 minutes. So, okay, you're sitting back thinking, okay, we get the benefits of physical activity and how endorphins increase your mood, self-confidence, and health, but how do we actually get kids to move? How do we get them to move? Well, there are two things you need to do. First, the physical activity must spark interest. And second, they must have success. If you don't do these two things, you will not get all children to enjoy your physical activity program. Again, if you don't do these two things, you will not get all children to enjoy your physical activity program. So let's break this down. We've been providing physical activity resources to programs just like yours for almost 20 years. And the one thing that makes us successful is providing activities that children love. We provide colorful images and uniquely designed activities that invoke interest from all children. It's important that you do the same. Create a program that includes eye-catching designs and interesting techniques that will entice the most skeptical child. One thing you have to realize is this: after you gain their interest, the activities that are the result of the colorful images and uniquely designed activities must allow children to succeed right out of the gate. If they don't succeed and succeed quickly, then you've lost them. And this makes it that much more difficult then to get them back. Does this make sense? It's really difficult to get them back because they have to succeed right out the gate. Recently, an after-school instructor shared with us the story. Physical activity time was always challenging. Maybe you can relate to this. I'm having a feeling you probably do. He had a number of unmotivated children in his group that never wanted to do anything. One day, he introduced Skillastics into his program. Immediately, he caught these unmotivated students' attention, and they reluctantly decided to participate. As he was telling the story, he said by the end of their time together, those students were laughing and really having a great time. They even asked if they could do the activity again the next day. The unique design grabbed their attention, and immediate success kept them engaged. You do the same thing, and I guarantee you'll get the same results. There is no difference when you are providing your virtual physical activity program. Provide colorful images and videos and allow them to succeed quickly, and you'll then have all children actively engaged in your program. The third shift, the secret weapon. Organized versatility. Well, it kind of sounds like an oxymoron to me, but it basically means thinking outside the box with consistent structure and variety. Create a program that makes students wanting more, wondering what's next, but have a firm understanding of the structure. This will guarantee students will be excited and can't wait for the next session. And the way to do this is by doing things differently, adding variety, but keeping it in a consistent structure format that students will come to expect. Do you remember the classic Apple commercial, Think Different? It starts out showing images of famous people like Albert Einstein, Gandhi, Helen Keller, Martin Luther King. Well, the voiceover is saying, here's to the crazy ones, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, who see things differently. They are not fond of the rules and have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. But the one thing you can't do is ignore them. They change things. Some see them as the crazy ones. We see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that do. I love this commercial because it shows those who think outside the box are the people who create things or ideas that we remember. So you have a choice. You could do it the old way and implement a virtual physical activity program like everybody else does. All you need to do is share random YouTube workout videos, share the same videos over and over, no variety in the lessons, provide documents explaining what activities to do and hope the kids understand it, allow instructors who have little or no experience create their own workout videos, and then you cross your fingers and hope that you may get some buy-in. I mean, does this make sense? I mean, basically, this is what's happening. You research YouTube videos, repeat the same things over and over and over again, the same videos. You provide worksheets with activities to do and hope the kids do them. You let instructors in your program who have no experience in teaching physical activity create their own videos. So then what happens? You are frustrated trying to figure things out and grinding out this content. And then from all the time and energy, what are the results? The problem with this is there's no variation, no process to the instruction. It's just gathering information to show your students and hope it sticks. It's cold, it's not authentic, and there's no consistency in the structure. Now, let's look at the new way. The new way. The new way. Organized versatility. You don't need to be searching for content all the time. One great program can replace all you've been doing with a simple process like this. So first, consistent process structure. Keeping it consistent, having the kids know what to expect. And then lesson variation, doing things that no one else is doing. What happens then is this then increases engagement, and then you have the buy-in. You then end up with an amazing physical activity program that you can provide your students virtually. Lesson variations that keeps them wanting more, yet structured in the process, so they know what to expect. Let me give you a quick example, okay? So we'll start first with an intro, about 5 minutes that builds connection and enthusiasm, pretty much running through what the day's lesson is going to entail. Then you also do a warm-up. Make sure you do this every single day to reduce injury. Then you go into a social and emotional learning activity, introduce a character trait of the day, and that character trait of the day becomes that trait for that day, and it's highlighted. Then you go into the lesson, a 15-minute main lesson, but variation. Every single day it's different, making it different. Then you go to a review, reflection time, and assessment. Did the kids give them a chance to give feedback, and then also figure out, hey, did they actually learn what I just taught them? And then finally, an activity takeaway, a family engagement piece that they can do after the lesson is completed. Recently, Oakland Unified School District, like every district, was scrambling to figure out how they were going to teach physical activity virtually. We provided them with a virtual physical activity program, and the results were amazing. It was so easy to implement, and the instructors loved the instructor guide script for every day's lesson. It made it so easy to follow along and easy to implement the program. So, to summarize, use the secret weapon, organized versatility, which is our Skillastics program. And it has transformed over 10 million students' attitudes about physical activity. I can't emphasize enough that a great virtual physical activity program can be the backbone of staff and student buy-in if it's good enough at providing organized versatility. Keep them wanting more, yet structured in the process. Does this make sense? And finally, how great would you feel if you had one less thing to worry about? So let's quickly recap. Now at this point, we know that we must operate with an open mindset, believe all children enjoy physical activity, and finally, we need to use the secret weapon, organized versatility, unique content with flares of variation while maintaining consistent structure. Now, let's look at how to leverage your time and scale your program without losing your mind. And that brings me to the fourth shift, leveraging your time. You are busy. Your staff is busy. There is so much information that you need to share with your students. Why not make it as efficient and effective as possible to save your time and your staff's time? You need a 1-2 punch. The virtual program should be a lead-in to your on-site instruction. When this happens, students are further along in the learning process, and instructors are happy because they are not starting from scratch. Most programs are in the same position you are right now. scrambling to find virtual programming that will reduce learning lag time. You want programming that will allow for a smooth transition into the school year. Numerous after-school directors are using or will be using our Skillastics physical activity program during the school year. It makes it easy to organize, motivate, engage students to move, learn, and love it. What I'd like to do now is walk you through a quick explanation of the Skillastics technique. So, our activity kits include a large oversized mat and miniature mats. And so what you do is you lay this oversized mat in the middle of a playing area and scatter the miniature mats throughout the playing area. And where you see this runner silhouette, this orange runner silhouette, you would lay an oversized orange dice and a marker, an orange marker, beanbag marker. And you do the same. There's a purple dice and marker, red, yellow, green, and blue. You'd lay those on the big oversized mat in the middle. You take a group of kids, divide them into 6 teams, assign each team a color, and then tell the kids to go to their team area next to their miniature mat. You'd have the kids number off in their team so they know how to take turns. You would say go or turn on music, and the first child from each team would run to their color, roll their dice, and whatever they roll, they would land on an activity. Whatever activity they landed on, they would run back to their group, point it out on the miniature mat, and everybody on that team would do that activity together, the amount of repetitions required. The repetitions, there are 3 different colored numbers on the bottom of each activity. The instructor, before they start the activity, would say, today group, we're doing the blue repetitions. So everybody knows that's the amount of repetitions they have to do. When they're done, the next child from the same group would run back to the same color and repeat the process. So you've got 6 teams doing this independently, but everybody moving, everybody active at one time. Now, we have 13 different versions of the Skillastics technique, and I'd like to quickly show you those different versions. We have fitness, that's general fitness for elementary age. We have fitness extreme for middle school, high school age. We have a kit called Let's Move in School Skillastics. It's running, jumping, and throwing activities. We have Speed Stack Skillastics. We partnered with Speed Stacks. We're cup stacking and getting kids more physically active while they're stacking cups. It's a great program. Then we also have sports specific, working on the basic fundamentals of basketball, of soccer, of tennis, and of volleyball. We also have Character is Cool Skillastics. This is every activity is associated with a character trait. They're teamwork and leadership activities. We also have STEM Skillastics. It's general fitness activities, completely different than all these other kits, but it also includes STEM questioning in science, technology, engineering, and math. We also have an activity called Half Pint Skillastics for early childhood. It works on shapes and colors and numbers and physical activities, 36 physical activities specifically for that age group. It comes in English, and then we also have an English-Spanish version. And then finally, we have a classroom version called Be Fit to Learn Skillastics Math, and this is physical activity for the classroom, but also putting in specific math questions for 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade. So that gives you an idea of all of our Skillastics activity kit. Now let me provide you an example on how easy the transition is from virtual to on-site learning and vice versa. So on the top, you can see one of our activity kits, Character is Cool. And with every kit comes task cards. Task cards are actually each of the 26 activities on the mat, and they come with laminated task cards. And so you have lead-up games and activities that the kids do and learn and have fun with to familiarize themselves with all the activities prior to actually experiencing Skillastics. And all these lead-up games and activities are in our instructional manual, our instructional guide. And the instructional guide has simple step-by-step instructions. And right here, you can kind of see one of the lessons. Very simple to read, and it also includes images. So it's very simple to understand and very simple to teach. Now, all of this, everything here, all the Skillastics information and content has been modified to fit virtually. So it works virtually. So the task cards, all the instructional lessons have been created to fit virtually. And once the kids understand all of this, there's an easy transition once they get back to school to start off right where they left off or continue on what they learn virtually. So it's a very, very simple roundabout transition. Now, finally, let's move on to the fifth and final shift. Invest in experts. Everyone should invest in experts. It does three things. It makes your job easier, it exposes students to new ideas, and it provides structure for a smooth physical activity transition into the school year. We have been teaching physical activity for almost 30 years. Our expertise has helped transform thousands of children and adults' attitudes about physical activity. Trying to do this without the proper training is not effective. Don't do it alone. Find the best physical activity experts out there and invest in them. Now, let me tie this all together. How it works. First, you need an open mindset that will help you see clearly of what is possible. That positive mindset will inspire you to jump into action on a clear virtual physical activity plan. And from that plan, you will have created an amazing program that makes everybody happy. So basically, to change the outcome, you must change your mindset because you jump into action and so on and so forth. So let me ask you this. Do you have a plan on creating a virtual physical activity program? Are you happy with your plan? If you're not happy, you need a new mindset and a new plan that will change the outcome you are searching for. You need an expert. So right now, I want to summarize what I promised you. I promised you today how to get your staff excited about teaching physical activity virtually, how to create a program that really connects with students no matter their physical abilities, how to seamlessly connect virtual physical activity lessons with on-site instruction, and how to do all of this while making it affordable and includes minimal training and resources. So everyone, just to sum up real quick, here's what you need to win. Operate with an open mindset. Believe all children enjoy physical activity. Use the secret weapon, organize versatility. Leverage your time and invest in experts. These 5 shifts alone are all you need to implement an all-star virtual physical activity program. Now, you have a choice. You can either take the information that I gave you, or you can forget all about it and keep struggling to get staff buy-in regarding implementing new virtual programming. You can continue to have low-level student participation, especially those children that normally do not like being active in the first place. And you can continue to waste hours of your valuable time trying to come up with an effective virtual physical activity program. Or you can unlock your program's full potential by offering a virtual physical activity program your students deserve and staff excited to implement. If that's what you want, if that's what you want to do, then here's what I have for you. My team and I have set up time in the next 48 hours to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your program today. whatever your biggest physical activity challenges are, we've seen it. I mean, we have definitely seen it, and we know how to help you overcome it. We have definitely know how to help you overcome it. We will get you on the phone or a Zoom call for approximately 45 minutes, and during this meeting, we will work with you to craft a physical activity plan based upon your needs and challenges and come up with a solution that best fits your needs. Now, there's no cost to this. It's absolutely free. But here's the catch. This is not for everyone. This is for people who believe in the value of teaching physical activity virtually and consider this addition an extreme asset to your program. You must be a lead agency or after-school director or site coordinator who makes purchasing decisions. You must have a budget. It doesn't have to be a big budget. It can be small to purchase virtual physical activity resources. If this is you, then book a meeting with us now. So I want to let you know why we're doing this. We do this because we love giving back and helping after-school programs achieve their goals. We love seeing all children have a positive experience being physically active. Plus, we know that you might want our help to help transform your physical activity program, both virtually and on site. If so, we can discuss it and see if it's a good fit for both of us. If not, hey, you know what? That's fine. No worries. So, if you want to book a time to chat with us, go to bit.ly/book-PA-virtual. bit.ly/book-PA-virtual. Now, when you click on this link, you will go to our calendar page. Grab any date and time that is available that works for you, and you're all set. We'll get a hold of you and set it up, and we'll be talking to you and walking you through this. So again, if you want to book a time, just go to this particular website and book your time with us. Thank you again for spending time with us today. I really appreciate your time, and thank you for listening in. Have a wonderful rest of your day.